sir.
How's it going?
You request to come inside because it's cold out there?
It is pretty cold. It might be cold Saturday night. It's only, what is it, 5:22. It'll be cold at 8:15.
So what's the latest you can say on the quarterback situation is going to start on Saturday?
Right now, we're planning on Jake starting. Keaton's improving. Made a few throws today. He's healing, but he's not all the way there yet. And we're unsure if he'll be available Saturday or not.
How much decision does just the availability of practice reps go into choosing and making a decision like that?
Yeah, that's part of everything we're doing right now at every position, really, because we're kind of at that point where we're every team in America is thin. It's not just us. You get worn down, and so you have to make decisions about, if you're going to play a guy that didn't practice very much, how much did he practice, how ready is he? So, but for the most part, we're playing guys that are available to practice. In rare cases have I seen guys play well on Saturday that didn't practice at all the whole week.
What went into the decision, just as far as over the weeks, as as Keaton's been dealing with this injury, since Arkansas, I think is what it was. So just as you decided to go with him and then made the switch.
It just hit a point where he couldn't throw. I mean, he was in a lot of pain last week. He couldn't grip the ball. He was just having trouble throwing, so we just had to pull him back.
Have you had to make any accommodations at all? That might not be the word I'm looking for. Alterations to the offense with Jake, or is it pretty much the same playbook, the same?
It's a little different. I mean, he does some things different than Keaton. So last game you saw him run around a little more than what you've seen this year, and he's a little bit different player, but you can't change too much this time of year either, or then you mess up all the other guys around him. So we're trying to play to his strengths as well as we can, without wholesale change to the offense that's going to throw the other 10 players off.
Do you agree with the commentary from Kalani that when Keenan does come back, he's got to earn the right to get that starting role again?
Well, every position is like that. You have to play. You can if somebody comes in and plays better than you were playing while you were out, then that's how it works at every position. So that's part of our program.
How beneficial though is it to play Retzlaff and get maybe a look at the future? Does that factor into the
Sure. I mean, we were hoping to get a chance to see what he could do in these 4 games anyway. There was never a plan to necessarily start him in those games, but we wanted to at least get him in some, and so this is it's unfortunate for Keaton, but it's turned out to be a good opportunity just to at least see what we have in Jake.
What was your assessment of how Jake did play Saturday?
I thought he played pretty well. I mean, we didn't score enough points. I mean, it's super disappointing to only have 7 points, but he did a lot of good things in that game, and thought he did a good job. I would say, solid performance, but we just need to do a better job as an offense.
What's been the message to your offensive line this week so far?
Just keep getting better, and we're rotating guys in practice, trying to figure out who can do the job this week, and it's been a physical week in practice. Yeah.
Any of those, like we didn't see Paul Miley, is he due back? Or?
Hoping to get him back, yeah, hoping, yep. And we missed him dearly. Paul's a good player. We missed him last week.
Is Ian Fitzgerald still available too? I mean, because we didn't see him at all.
Same thing. Hoping to get him back as well. He was out last game.
Yeah. What is the cutoff date for guys like that? To be clear, is it game day?
It's case by case. I mean, when you have Paul Miley, who's been a 4-year starter at this level, he's a guy who can function on Saturday with not as many practice reps as a younger player. So you have to make judgments based on that. But Paul, we're hoping he'll be back. Yes.
How available has LJ been? Was he
Same. LJ was dressed last week, but we just wasn't quite ready. But he'll play this week.
What's happened to the physicality up front? I mean, of that offense line, because that's been an identity piece to your offense in years past. What's happened there?
Yeah, I would say it's a team-wide deal offensively. Like, we have not been as physical as we have in the past. The last 3 years we hung our hat on physical run game and play action pass and throwing the ball down the field off of our run game, and it has not been as good as it should be, and we're still trying to fix it. I'm like, all you can do is keep working at it, and that's what we're doing.
Is that an effort thing? Is that an effort base, or do you go for
at times I would say no. I mean, you have to play with effort, but a lot of it is just it's being in sync. It's 11 guys working in unison, all on the same page, and yeah, we're working on that. Yeah.
And clearly,
But-
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Effort. It starts with effort, though. Of course. I mean, and you have to play hard to get on the field for us. Yes.
Clearly, offensive line, that cohesion's vital because those 5 guys have to be in sync or plays don't work. Have you been surprised that it hasn't clicked, consistently throughout the year with that group?
Yes, I have been, and it's an issue we got to fix. And I think sometimes when you're not clicking as a unit, it might look like a guy is lost or not playing hard when really there's not trust in the scheme or not trust in the guy next to you or not trust in the cohesion of the unit. And I think there's a little bit of both there right now.
What was it about Rhett Sleff that attracted you on the recruiting trail to him? Because very few schools knew about it because of COVID.
Yeah, he was. I've recruited in, where his junior college areas. He played at 2 different junior colleges, and the first year he played at Golden West in Orange County, and I've just recruited there for a long time. Got a lot of good players from that area when I was coaching up the road, and got a few here, and just kind of know a lot of people there and heard good things about him, and knew about him in high school too. We were ready to, recruit him in high school if he played well his senior year, and then he didn't get a senior year. So then it was just watching what he did in junior college, and he did a great job.
Is Cody Epps going to be available Saturday?
Hope so. Again, that's another one. You saw him get dinged, and there's several guys that I'm hoping they clear them to play. And he's one though that can play well in the game without a ton of practice reps because he's been around for a while and he knows our system.
Is this the best secondary you're to face this season?
Very good secondary, very good defense overall. Super tough scheme, and very good players. Iowa State they're impressive, and it's a tough defense.
How important is it to win games at home? You guys have been successful at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's of course every game's in college football. Every game's important. It's it feels like every week is the Super Bowl, and that's just how it is, and that's how it should be. And but yeah, winning at home, we want to win at home. We want to play well in front of our fans and our families, and we're looking forward to this.
You said back in December, last signing period, that you felt like the transfer portal was more of kind of a fill in the needs for that immediate
Yeah.
season. Like, do you feel like there's any bit of this offense that maybe has been too reliant on transfers this year with the amount?
Yeah, in hindsight, I think first of all, the transfer portal has been really good to us in the years I've been here. We've had a pretty good batting average with our transfers. I think this year, I think all the guys we brought in were good players. I think the thing we underestimated a little bit was how long it would take to play as a unit, to really click as a unit. And I think in the future you have to be smart about, how much continuity you can maintain and how you fill in your needs without breaking up your continuity. That's something to consider in the future for sure, because the last 3 years when we were very good on offense, there was a lot of continuity, lots of very little turnover, and we were just plugging a hole here or there with a receiver or a running back or whatever. And this year, by necessity, we had to bring in some guys, and I think all those guys are doing their best, and we're just trying to play well as a unit. We gotta keep working.
So do you go into this offseason a little bit changing that mentality a little
Well,
bit?
we have a lot of players returning next year, so I don't expect us to need to do as much as we did last year. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but I don't expect there to be as much turnover.
Does that mean you need in-program recruiting, for lack of a better term, because of guys may?
Every program in America now has to recruit their own players to stay. Yeah, but also at the same time, I think every program in America understands guys are going to come and go, and you just got to deal with it and move, be ready. But one of the bright spots of this team is we've had a lot of young players who are going to be really good next year and the year after. That are, you see a Keelan Marion or a Darius Lassiter who they do something really great and then they make a mistake or two that are just first time I've seen that, or those types of things. I expect a lot of these guys that are playing for us are going to be very good players next year, and it feels like the process we went through with some of our guys that did well for us in the last couple of years.
Last one for Coach. You've been asked a little bit about Jackson Bowers before, but Do you feel like you could see him in the next 3 weeks a little bit or not?
I think he's playing a little bit of special teams. He's not in the depth right now at tight end, but he is going to be a good player in this program. He will be. Yep.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Sure thing, guys. Good seeing you.
Maybe we can quiet down and analysis.
We want to be able to hear what you have to say, not
How you guys doing?
I'd say it feels like a women's basketball game the other day with 5,000 elementary school kids.
Those are fun games.
Those are
kids.
fun games. Just bring earplugs. Bring earplugs and they're great.
Is he rolling? I think we're rolling.
Too much noise.
We good? Okay.
I need to step up to
Yeah,
Yeah, right there.
staying close. What's this week been like as you're getting ready after last week's performance and trying to bounce back?
Everyone just been quite focused, trying to stay locked in, execute, do the things we do the things we need to do, put the ball in the end zone, get turnovers. I think everyone's stepped it up a notch to work to get the dub this week.
We saw you get extra reps. It felt like last week against West Virginia, just some of the other guys being out. How did that feel?
Excuse me?
It felt like you got extra reps last week because some of the guys being injured last week against West Virginia. How did that feel to see extra time?
It actually felt great. Some guys went down, so like Coach always preaches, next man up. So I try to step out there and make the best of my opportunities.
How frustrating was it on that kick return to have that called back?
I wouldn't say it was quite frustrating, but it did kind of hurt for the late penalty. I felt it was late, and I think all the guys did their job, set me up great lanes to hit the hole and score. But it did hurt though.
What do you think the difference is in the offense with Keaton versus James?
They're both great. They both great guys. Both can sling. Keenan went down, so like I say, next man up. Jake steps up, keeps his role going until Keaton steps back in. But both guys definitely can sling the rock.
Have you noticed that Jake maybe keeps plays alive longer with that escapability?
No, sir. I feel like Keaton also can do escape the pocket, do the same thing Jake does. I think they both bring a great skill set to the offense to keep us rolling.
Aaron was talking to us just now about how feels like this team's taken a little longer to click than maybe they hoped, and there's been some ups and downs along the way. What's that like as a player when you feel, oh, hey, everything's clicking versus when things are a little bit off?
I definitely understand what he's saying. Speaking of me speaking for myself, being a new transfer myself, it kind of does kind of seems like that. But I think, guys, we just keep pushing here. No quitting. There's no quitting the team. Everyone just keep pushing the gas to the floor. We just keep on rolling and try to get going. Saturday.
Iowa State has a corner that a lot of people are saying might be a first-round draft pick. I think Tampa is his last name.
Yes, sir.
Is that kind of pique you guys' interest, so to speak, get you motivated to face a guy like that?
Yeah, it's definitely motivation. We respect all opponents, but we're looking forward to going out there to compete. Definitely compete against the best every time.
Coming from a program where going to a bowl game has a really, really different feel than maybe somewhere like around here at BYU. What does it mean to you personally to have a chance to clinch bowl eligibility? I mean, you guys have had it for a couple of weeks, and it feels like it's kind of eating away some of the guys a little bit.
Definitely. I wouldn't say it's eating the guys away. I definitely can say we're just this close away. Just a little bit, just one more step, and we there. But we always aiming to win every game. We're not just aiming to get the bowl game. We want to win out. We want to win out.
What's your mindset at kick return? What kind of mindset do you have to have the confidence that hey, they're going to block this up, but at the same time when you decide to bring it out?
You honestly just have to be a believer back there. You gotta trust that those guys gonna get their block, get their guy, and when the hole could be small as ever, you just gotta hit it blind faith. You just gotta be a believer.
You've gotten used to playing at LES just this year. You guys are undefeated there so far. How important is it to keep that going and get this, get a home win and play in front of the home fans?
It's definitely a great feeling. I say to keep the undefeated at home. It's tough we didn't get some of those away games, but it's on to the next game. So we definitely looking forward to keeping that undefeated record at LaVelle.
What do you like about playing at LaValle Edwards Stadium?
I just love the atmosphere, the energy, the fans bring. Like it's a place like no other. Like all the road games we went to, I don't think it has nothing on LaValle. I don't care if it's 100,000 fans, 110,000. Like those 70 down the street, it's like no other. No other.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you
Keelan.
guys. No problem.
Appreciate it, man.
You guys have a blessed night.
Good luck this week.
Thank you, sir.
Hopefully you return one this week. They don't call it back. Mr. Pegg?
How's it going?
What's up, my friend?
All right. Fire away so I can go home.
Connor, if you could put a finger on why the offensive line maybe hasn't performed up to expectations, what would it be?
Oh man, you name it. I think different issues have kind of surfaced in different weeks. Just haven't been able. We've gotten close, but just haven't been able to put a complete game together. And then the West Virginia game, can't really put a finger, towards anything very positive coming out of that. But I think we have to be. It's a lack of consistency, is what it is. We're great sometimes, and we're terrible other times, and so I think kind of inconsistency has been our biggest issue this season, just off the top of my head.
Do you think part of that is how much the line is shuffled around this year?
I think that's part of it. I mean, it could be because you kind of get used to guys playing next to you, but at the same time, everyone has to know what's going on and be comfortable in what we're doing, and the expectation is that everyone in the O-line room theoretically could go in and play, and so you have to be prepared that way. And so I don't think that's been up there in terms of the biggest issues, but it would be a lie to say that it doesn't play a factor, but not a big one.
With you guys on the O-line, we've talked about it numerous times, how important it is to have everybody on the same page and clicking together.
Yeah.
Right. And A-Rod said he's been a little surprised that it hasn't clicked as much this year or as quickly as maybe he thought. What does it take to get that, clicking, where it's clicked in with all five guys every play?
I think it takes, reps first and foremost, and also just, commitment to the playbook, and understanding all your assignments all of the time. And because obviously there have been some scenarios where we haven't been on the same page. And, I think just obviously that starts with me at center, and if we have to just over communicate to get everybody on the same page and just essentially tell everybody what to do and make sure everyone knows what's going on, then so be it. But I think we need to communicate better up there, and then I think also just we have to spend more time, which we definitely have this week. In the film room, and just even just in the playbook, getting back to the basics and the fundamentals, because those are things that have been slipping for us recently.
You know where Kingsley stood up and pointed at a guy that had crossed the neutral zone? Mm-hmm. Is that what you're taught to do? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the challenge with those is typically it needs to be the guy directly in front of you who crosses the neutral zone for you to raise up. And so I think the problem with that one was the nose guard over me did go into the neutral zone, but the defensive end didn't quite get into the neutral zone. And so because it wasn't one of the guards or the guy close to the guy who actually entered the neutral zone, that's why they ended up calling it a false start. And that's a tough one. That's kind of a judgment call for Kings. It's hard. That's not easy to do. He felt like he crossed the line, so he raised up on it, and it was close, so I don't blame him for doing it, but that's kind of how those work.
Jay Hill yesterday thought that maybe the effort in the second half from the defensive side wasn't there all the way. Do you see that at all as a problem on the offensive side?
No doubt. Yeah, for sure. And I think especially towards the back half of that game, guys were getting frustrated that things weren't going our way, and it was just kind of boiling up, and we needed to push through that a little better than we did, especially once you kind of realized that it was out of hand a little bit. We got to be better about getting through that. I got to be better about pushing through that, and no, definitely the effort needs to increase for sure.
How important is it to play well this week at home, back home, get a chance to keep
huge.
winning there?
It's huge. It's the biggest game of the year for us because it's the game this week, and it's a chance to get bowl eligible, which is obviously a team goal that we have, and so it's a huge game. It's huge.
Connor, I know you're probably thinking just about this game, but are you approaching this month as kind of your final stretch as a BYU Cougar? I know you got the COVID year, but are you kind of looking at this as your final run? You got to make the most of it?
Yes, in the sense of for our season, me personally haven't thought much about that yet. There's a lot that happens after that last game of the year that helps determine that decision, and so I can't really do much about it till we get there, so I haven't thought about it too much.
What would getting bowl eligible mean for you personally? I mean, it's kind of been an expectation around this program while you've been here, certainly. So just what would it mean to clinch another bowl game, especially in the first year in the Big 12?
I think it would be huge for our team, because it's a goal that we have, but also your first year as a Power 5 to get bowl eligible, and that's a huge thing for your team to get that one more chance to play together, because this team will never be the same regardless of whether you come back next year. There's freshmen that got 4 more years. This is the last chance that we have over these next month and a half to play together as a team, so we want to extend that for as long as possible.
Right.
Anything else? Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks, Connor.